But while Jelmer is fixing it, yeah, give a hand of applause to from the Mobile Development Center.
Thank you. Okay, so good evening. My name is Attila Nyari and I'm the lead developer of Mobile Development Center in Hungary. Okay, let's set it again. No, no problem. I'm going to reposition that. Please.
Someone to accept the new service request for a new laptop.
Maybe there's an API for that. Or at least a script.
Okay.
It's actually boiling.
Okay. Oh my God. Getting stranger and stranger.
Hi everybody on the live stream. I'm really sorry, but I think Sander's laptop is now really cooked. So I'm afraid we all have to do it without proper images. I'm really, really sorry.
He's watching you after a while. Not now. Yeah.
No problem.
Probably they hacked the stream.
Okay. Once again. That's the miracle of the live stream.
Yes.
Okay?
You can start again.
Okay. So, I said, who am I? So I continue with this that MDC is dealing with, I hope you all know, dealing with mobile and mobile related developments. Today I'm going to talk about one of our major developments, which is Sanoma push notification system, as we call SaKE10. Just a completeness, a few words about push notifications. Push notifications is quite to messages in GSM world, but there are no device-to-device messages, and you always address an app, a tile, on the device and not the device itself. But you can send text and images, you can instruct the OS to play a sound, or initiate load, what else? Oh, refresh a tile on a Windows phone, for example. Let's see a quick historical overview about SaKE10. The story began in 2012 when the Dutch organization wanted to standardize the push notification backends. That time they asked us to take part in the evaluation of some third-party systems like Urban Archive, XT5. That time I raised the flag because I thought that push notification should be one of the core competencies of Sanoma. I know it was a heretic idea. That time platform as a service, software as a service, idea floods. But we quickly gathered the advantages and disadvantages of a third-party system. The advantages were, for example, faster time to market and wider range of available services from the beginning. But see the disadvantages. You have no influence on the development roadmap, so you cannot make a priority between the different steps. The user data will be stored on the third-party system or in the third-party system, and in long term the price is higher than an in-house development. Sadly, the Dutch organization that time wanted to the urban airship and kept the existing solutions. But at the end of this year, the Finnish colleagues asked us to take part in a tender because they wanted to migrate from the costly urban airship to an in-house development. What a funny thing. Luckily, MDC won the tender, and in early 2013 we could start the planning and the development. In the same year, May, we delivered the software and we started the integration and end-to-end test together with Helsingin Sanomat and Ilta Sanomat. One thing is missing from here. 1 year later, we successfully integrated SPNS into the biggest Dutch magazine Nu.nl Android app. Okay, and I'm very proud of my team who available that I can be here now. So I'm very proud of their enthusiasm and steadiness that they showed us during the development days, because they were quite long, within 2 months. Okay, let's continue. What SPNS offers for the developers and the users? SPNS is a multi-platform system. That means we provide SDKs for iOS, Android, Windows. Why is it important? Because the developers don't have to care with the integration between the client and the server. The SDK will do lots of automatic things and gives handy APIs for the developers. For example, subscribing to a group or unsubscribing from there. Okay, of course, SPNS has a server-side API where you can send messages, broadcast messages to the entire group of registered users, or you can address different groups, or just for the testing purposes, you can send direct device messages. You can send scheduled messages, and you can reach statistical information about your push messages. Okay. Currently, we provide only tailor-made web interfaces, app by app, but the common web UI is under development, and hopefully we can launch this service in this December. With the help of this common web UI, you can send, of course, messages, so there is no need any longer for tailor-made web UIs. You can reach the app statistics in diagrams, in tables, as you wish. You can manage your apps, your administrators, and we can do more easily the system administration and user management. Support. As SPNS is Sanoma-wide, it's a Sanoma-wide service, we have to provide support. We have a 24/7 system support with the help of our certified Amazon consultant. We have developer support, so you can ask questions regarding how to integrate SPNS into your app, why the users haven't received the notifications yet, and so on. We are using multiple monitoring services. One of them came from Arjen, thanks to him. Besides that, we use Amazon CloudWatch as well, and the alarm systems is HipChat and emails. If we want, that could be SMSs, or we can call the support. Okay, and the technical part of my presentation. Okay, when we started the planning of SPNS development, we knew that the system should be redundant and scalable. After that, we listed the kind of skills we have. Java was obvious. worth to mention because we have lots of Android developers. Okay, if Java and scalable system, let's use Glassfish. Okay, we are going to deal with messages. Java message queues would be suitable. The Finnish colleagues had a demand, a requirement that they want to get a compatible API that Urban Airship had. So Urban Airship has, because they have still this API, has a REST API. Okay, let's select Jersey, which is a built-in REST API module for Glassfish. Okay, we have to purchase lots of information. Let's use Hibernate and MySQL together. But we encountered a very nasty issue in Glassfish. That means under high load, the REST API blocks the whole server. So we had to extract some part, which is the ping API, I will talk a bit later about it, into a plain old servlet environment together with JDBC calls. Okay. Let's imagine that you are sitting in front of your computer and you want to send a push message. What will happen between pressing the send button till you receive the message on your device? First, SPNS Management API will receive your request, which is a JSON structure. It will parse it. If it's okay, then you will get back an ID, which is useful if you want to get some kind of statistical information later. After that, it will place the request into the request queue. On the other end of the request queue, there are the request expansion workers. They have very simple task. Please extract the recipients from the device database. As I mentioned, you can address groups. What if a user belongs into one or more groups? We want to send the message only once. So the request expansion worker does the deduplication process also. The request expansion worker doesn't have to wait till the whole result set of the recipient arrive, because it does in a streamed way. So when the first bunch of result sets arrived, it will start to create the messages. The messages will be placed into the message queues. Every platform has a different or independent message queue. Why is it important? Because big breaking news message sending won't block each other. So you can send breaking news for iOS users besides an Android breaking news. Okay. So the worker starts to process the message queue and forwards the messages towards the push message providers, Apple, Google, Microsoft. Let's assume that this provider sends back that the result of one of our recipients are invalid. In that case, we have to remove them from the device database, because we have to prevent that we use that wrong invalid device ID next time. Why is it important? Because in case of Apple, they will close the connection immediately when they encounter any kind of issue, and reopening the connection takes time. It's a very costly operation. Okay. After this point, we have no influence what will happen. There is no guarantees. There are no guarantees that that the device will receive and when we receive the notification. It's up to the notification providers. But when the message arrived to the device and the user opens the app via this push notification, First of all, a ping request will occur. Just imagine the impact of this request in case of a breaking news. For example, in case of Nutotenel, 10% of the registered users, which is around 100,000 users, will open within 1 minute the app. After that, the users can register or unregister from specific groups, and all these events should be placed into the device database. Okay, so that was the logical architecture. Let's see the physical architecture. When we started to develop SPNS, it was hosted by Sanoma Budapest. But when Sanoma Budapest was sold, we had to find another way to host our servers. And that time, Amazon was a good choice. So we put everything into Amazon. It's funny again because that was the first thought of the Finnish colleagues. Let's estimate what does it mean in costs and work to use Amazon from the first time. But that time Amazon was had a bit higher price. After that they decreased the price at least twice. Okay, so we have here 2 load balancers, but actually we have 3 load balancers because of the new ping API. One of the load forwards the request towards the management API. That's when you want to send push messages, you want to get statistical information, any other thing. This cluster contains 2 nodes. They have lots of RAM and less powerful CPUs. Load balancer forwards the request API nodes. They have more powerful CPUs because of the habit of the request, but they need less RAM. Behind all these servers, there is a MySQL in RDS in a multi-availability zone. Okay, and I almost forget the last server. This is a domain administration server. So via this server we are doing the configuration of the system. So we don't have to set up individually these servers. We do the modifications in one place, and it will distribute it through the whole system. Last time we had a chance to check how long does it take to set up this system from the scratch, and with the automated script we could achieve 1.5 hours together with the database backup. So we can start with quite easily, and of course we have backups, snapshots, so we can recover quite quickly if something malfunction happens. Okay, let's see the facts. Since SPNS exists, it delivered 7.8 billion messages. With the performance, okay, that's the last. These are the last numbers, the latest numbers. So the performance, Apple and Google are almost the same, but you can realize the difference in case of Microsoft. They have a very stupid protocol. So I can't say better words for that. So you have to open as many connections as you can, and you can send one message on each connection. So we have, I don't know, maybe the guys somewhere there behind the camera could tell me the real number of the workers, but it could be somewhere 200. Okay. Currently we have 51 live apps in the SPNS and lots of test application also. You can see the numbers. We have lots of iOS app, almost the same, Android app, and very few Windows Phone and Windows apps, but it will be important a few slides later. Okay, what was the progress of message sending? You can see till this May it wasn't so steep, but you can realize the spike around June. I'm very sad because I don't see any colleagues from ILTA Sanoma who could explain what was that. And only the Windows Phone caused this increment. Okay, it's obvious, or I told the secret one slide before. ILTA Sanoma has the highest traffic. This number is for September. More than 300 million messages per month. And the number of registered users, as you can see, a little bit higher than 500,000. In contrary, the highest number of registered users has nu.nl, but their traffic is only 8 million. Okay, these two apps have totally different push sending model and registration model. In case of nu.nl, you have to set that I want to get a push message. Okay, and the last question, how can I use SPNS? If we don't consider the administration process together with MDC and core services, provide what kind of platform you want to use your app, the app name, the certificates, test or production. We will set up everything, but I have to mention when the new web UI is available, it's not necessary any longer. Okay, after that you will get an application set secret that this will identify your application. You will get a user secret, and this will identify your server if you want to send a message, to avoid the coincidence when you try to send, for example, nu.nl server to a Finnish, let's say, push notification to ILTA Sanoma. Okay, and of course you can get the documentation. The QR code contains the URL, and just to make it easier. Okay, thank you for your attention, and that was what I could say about SPNS. And if you want to learn more, you can reach via this website. Thank you.
Okay, while Niklas is setting up, are there any questions?
What is the cool presentation software?
It's always those Hungarians, right? Really chauvinistic.
Maybe a more curious one. So urbanized airship was probably a tool for like of time, and then this proved to be more cost efficient and scalable way of doing it. What is then the sort of like the next step probably in this space are going to be those Amazon and of the world actually offering push notification services? Basically, as an AWS service. On AWS producing the same service as Amazon is doing themselves. So how long is this gonna stay around, and what is the sort of answer to that competition from the platform guys?
When Amazon announced their push notification service, we immediately investigated it, but those functions were missing that time from Amazon that Finnish and Dutch colleagues wanted to see in a custom solution. And I checked it 1.5 months ago again, when they could provide, for example, Windows Phone push notification. Maybe that was 2 months ago. But the statistical functions are still missing in that depth that is required, for example, from nu.nl. So we try to keep the pace with Amazon, and I believe because we are inside Sanoma and we know the demands from the different departments. We could be faster than Amazon.
Obviously, you know, Amazon will take us to find all customers.
And on the other
But do you see the point, you know, behind my question? Because, you know,
Yeah.
come next year or the year thereafter, the feature differentiation is probably going to be smaller and smaller.
Yeah, but there will be always one major difference that you are not going to have a one shop place where you get everything. Like you need an aggregator, you need a service who could manage these services on your behalf.
Absolutely.
And then all the outputs of these services will differ, meaning that they are not tailor-made and they are not unified. Kind of aggregational layer or somebody would in between.
And we have lots of ideas.
Sorry guys, we have to take this discussion.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Sorry.
Running out of time massively.